It was the ultimate baseball triumph for the Houston Astros, who were the 2017 World Series champions. The first for the franchise. The team played like they could see the future. They already knew what the next pitch was going to be. They battled through the postseason, outlasting the Yankees and the Dodgers, two powerhouse teams at the time, to claim victory. But all the uncanny foresight that led them to victory felt almost too good to be true. And oh, it was. Behind the wins was a scandal so elaborate that it changed the entire baseball world. This AstroGate, the biggest cheating scandal in baseball history. But before we continue, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, smash it right now to avoid missing any amazing baseball stories. They finished first place in the American League West Division for the 2017 season with a win-loss record of 101-61. They defeated the Red Sox 3-1. They defeated the New York Yankees in the 2017 AL Championship Series in 7 games, winning all 4 home games. In the World Series, the Astros defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers in 7 games. They were unstoppable. For every run scored by the Dodgers, the Astros had an answer. They finished in first place in the AL West again in 2018 with a 103-59 record. However, something just didn't seem right. Later in November 2019, we found out the big secret, and it was really big. So big that it's being called the biggest cheating scandal in baseball history. The secret was they actually could see the future. The Astros were stealing signs and knew what pitch was coming next. But it wasn't just the usual kind. They took it several notches further and doing something more sinister. What exactly is sign stealing? Well, for more than a century, baseball players have been trying to decode the unspoken cues exchanged by pitchers and catchers over what pitch to throw next and the location. This is known as sign stealing. The biggest advantage a pitcher has over a batter is the element of surprise. But what if you know the surprise? Sign stealing isn't exactly against baseball rules and has long been considered part of the game, since it's considered an observational loophole. If a pitcher tips his pitches or a hitter can catch on to habits, then that is all part of the skill of the game. The New York Times even wrote that sign stealing was something of an art form in baseball, which is tolerated, even admired. Many players and coaches are considered masters at stealing signs. So why is it so wrong when the Astros did it? The problem wasn't exactly what they did, it's how they did it. The MLB, although silent on sign stealing, frowned heavily on the use of technology to steal signs. In 1961, the National League banned the use of a mechanical device to steal signs. The MLB also warned against the use of electronic devices to communicate with each other during games, especially for the purpose of stealing signs. So, how did the Astros do it? In 2014, as part of the expansion of replay review in MLB, all 30 teams were permitted to install video replay rooms in their stadiums with live camera feeds, and the dugout was permitted to communicate with staffers in the room. This was the technology the Astros capitalized on. We found out when reporters Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich at The Athletic published an article detailing the team's activities. They were stealing signs from opposing teams during games in 2017 and 2018. Other teams had long suspected the Astros of stealing signs, but they weren't able to prove it until Mike Fairs, a pitcher who played for the Astros in 2017, came clean at The Athletic. He explained that the team used a video camera in the center field seats to observe the opposing catcher as he instructed the pitcher about the next pitch. That feed was sent to a monitor near the Astros dugout, where players or staff interpreted the signs in real time. The moment they figured out what pitch was being thrown, they sent a signal, like the infamous trash can banging. If the batter was going to receive a fastball, no noise. A breaking pitch or an off-speed pitch, 1 or 2 bangs. I have to give it to them. That was genius. Days after the Athletics article alleging the Astros sign stealing, the MLB started a really thorough investigation. After months of digging, the MLB confirmed it. Houston had cheated throughout the 2017 season and postseason. During the investigation, it was publicly reported that witnesses admitted that the Astros used a system to replay pitches to batters. In December 2019, Tom Verducci of Sports Illustrated reported that the investigation had expanded to cover the 2018 season and that MLB investigators were combing through 70,000 emails and had conducted 70 interviews. Perhaps the craziest part of the whole thing is that the entire organization was in on it. Everyone had to be on board. If they traded for a new player, they had to get that guy to buy in and agree. Even Justin Verlander, future Hall of Famer, was brought in and agreed that it was worth it to win. The depth of the cheating and lack of sportsmanship was both mind-blowing and eye-opening. On January 13, 2020, the MLB announced the results of the investigation, confirming that the Astros had illegally used a video camera system to steal signs in the 2017 regular season and postseason, and in parts of the 2018 regular season. The report detailed that 2 months into the 2017 season, Astros bench coach Alex Cora and a group of players, which included Beltran, worked to create a system to steal signs. Talk about a master plan. The team continued to use illicit methods to steal signs in the 2017 postseason. The Astros did not use the banging method in 2018, but continued to use other methods until players decided it was no longer effective and stopped at some point in the 2018 season. The world was angry and wanted blood. Retributions needed to be paid, and the league handed down harsh penalties. The sanctions against the Astros were the most severe that MLB has ever issued against a member club, and are among the most severe sanctions for in-game misconduct in baseball history. The Astros were fined $5 million, the maximum allowed by the MLB Constitution, and forced to forfeit their first and second round draft picks in 2020 and 2021. In addition, Lanau and Hinch were each suspended for the entire 2020 season, including the playoffs, then fired by the Astros. Hinch's year-long suspension was one of the most severe punishments in baseball history meted out to a manager for in-game misconduct. But here's something that didn't sit quite well with a lot of people. No players were punished. Not one at all. They had received immunity from the MLB in exchange for their cooperation with the investigation. There is still the effect it had on the other players. The Dodgers players that will never taste the championship that was stolen from them. The feeling and lasting effects of getting rocked on the biggest stage unjustly. How their contracts may have been affected by poor performance. I mean, the effects can go on for forever. It is hard to exactly quantify the ramifications of the Astros' decisions, and that will forever remain unfair. However, after the scandal broke, players on the 2017 Astros apologized to varying degrees. The team's actions were heavily criticized by players on other MLB teams. But what about the Astros and their championships? Well, they kept their title. Even though investigations proved that they cheated, they still held on to the title. The 2017 World Series championship is still Houston's. Fans were outraged. Players across the league, especially those with the Yankees and Dodgers, felt robbed. The Astros quickly became the most hated team in baseball. That's quite a huge fall. Opposing teams did not forget either. The Astros were more frequently plunked more than any other team in 2020. They carried the shame of the scandal wherever they went. Wherever they went on the field, the scandal went with them. Regardless of everything that happened, one would wonder, was it all worth it? Did the Astros get away with a worthy sacrifice? Sure, they lost their draft picks, managers and the support of the world, and they experienced the anger of other teams. But still, they held on to their trophies and titles, and their names remain in the record books. And those winning moments still happened. They remained famous and infamous. The Astros restored their image in the subsequent years, claiming a World Series title in 2022. This time without the trash can and video cameras. The world celebrated them. But for others, they refused to forget the 2017 championship scandal. It makes you wonder if in a few years from now, the world will forget about this scandal and come back to glorify the Astros if they continue to win titles. What do you guys think? Do the Astros deserve to be stripped of their title and trophies? Would the Astros have won the 2017 championship without the sign-stealing scandal? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for more scandals and MLB stories. Until next time, adios.